This video is sponsored by Vantrue. Grab yourself 10% off of any dashcam from their website using my code there, LondonCam. All links in the description below. You know it makes sense. It's your permanent eyewitness that cannot lie. Hello everybody and welcome to another video. You join me here and we are about to go into Richmond Park, where I will be getting out the Green Goddess. Yes, it's been named the Green Goddess. Most people said the Green Goddess. And we will be taking the Green Goddess, which is the Engwe Engine 2.0, out for another ride. We are going to be doing some film locations. I think there's 6 in total, 6 film locations. And there's going to be a lot of places where I go where I cannot take the car, so I couldn't do this video without using the bike, or I would have to park up a million miles away from where I wanted to go, pay extortionate money for parking, or in one case actually go a completely different route because the bridge I want to use to get over the River Thames is closed to traffic. Only pedestrians and cyclists are allowed to go over this bridge. That narrows it down a little bit, doesn't it, to where we're going? Yes, I'm going home. I'm going home to Hammersmith, where I was born. And there's quite a few filming locations around there. And what is it they say? Never go back. They say never go back. And I do go to the block of flats where I lived for, 18 years? And yeah, never go back. I was absolutely shocked by the state of the bloody place. It was just changed very badly. Hammersmith and Fulham Council, you need to be ashamed of yourself. I used to live very close to a cemetery, and it took me by surprise the neglect in this cemetery. I will show you before and after pictures and all of that sort of stuff when we get there. It's quite a way. This video is going to be roughly about an hour, by the way. So please stay with us, and we'll show you some filming locations. I'll show you the bike and all that sort of stuff, and it's a bit of a different video again. And as per usual, could you let us know in the comments section down below whether you made it to the end, whether it's too long for you, whether it's a bit boring, that sort of stuff. Now look at here, I'm going to let this bike go because I know he's with that bike in front, and I'm only going into the car park here anyway, so it was a nice thing to do. See, I'm looking out for the cyclist already. Have I changed? I was always looking out for cyclists. I just don't like the cyclists, like you guys don't like the cyclists that go through red lights constantly. That's the only thing I've got issue with cyclists about. So we've just come through the Kingston gate for Richmond Park, and we're just going to park up here, and then I'm going to get the Green Goddess out of the boot, and we're going to go for a bike ride. Now this park itself has changed quite a lot, and I will show you that as we go around it. We're only go half around it because we're going to go out at the Roehampton gate, and that's not far from there where I'm going to show you the first filming location. So I'm going to try and drive into this bush here. My thinking towards this is the car's dirty. It doesn't matter if it gets a little bit more dirtier, but it's going to have a little bit of shade when I get back in the car, when I'm all hot and sweaty. So here's the bike in the car. It's a bit big, it's a bit awkward to get in the car, a bit like my missus. Now I drive a Kia e-Niro, which is, it's a nice car, but the boot is so ridiculously small, and I had to bring the seats down to actually get the bike in. It is a bit of a lump, this bike, as you can see from this angle. It is quite big. I did strap it down. You can see the straps over to the left hand side, so it was nice and safe. There is also a strap on the right hand side at the front there holding it in place, so that thing is not moving, because if it does move you're not stopping it, so strap it down. See, now all bikes have got different purposes, yeah, and this one here, for me, the purpose of it being a fold-up bike is for storage. For me it's storage, not for taking it out because I think it is too big for that. For storage at home, I think the idea of it being a fold-up bike is perfect. It really is. So obviously we're in Richmond Park, and I am going up quite a steep hill here. We've started off with 5 bars on the power here, and I'm trying to keep it in as low assist as possible and use the proper gears to my right hand side. But as we're going up this steep hill, I'm gonna bump up the assist here, and it doesn't take us long before I get my first close pass. I've only just got out of that car park and I've already got my first close pass. Look how close this woman is to me here. Yeah, how stupid is that? But getting back to the fold up part of the bike, now I've got a really small boot, and it still got in there. It's still, I had to put the seats back, but it still got in there. So it can be done. If you wanted to do this and drive around the park like this, you can actually get it into your boot. Years ago I used to have a Mondeo, Ford Mondeo, and this bike would have got in that boot. You wouldn't have to put the seats down or anything like that. It would have got in the boot. So it all depends. Everyone's needs are different. But this bike, as a bike, did I tell you how much I love this bike? It's so good. It's so good. It's so easy to ride. Now, when I did the review on this bike, we did 7 miles on that review. Today, I'm going to be doing 19 miles on it. And when I got back to the car, I wasn't out of breath. I didn't have jelly legs or anything. It was just, it's so nice. It's relaxing as well, especially when you're riding around Richmond Park here. The park is lovely and it's made for cyclists. It really is made for cyclists, this place. And the thing is, they've changed this park quite a lot. Down here, you used to be able to drive all the way around this park. You can't do that no more. They've closed this road off a little bit further down here. If I was in my car, I wouldn't have been able to go much further than where I am now because they closed it off. I don't know why you've got to go all the way around the park to get to other places in the park. And I'm pretty sure it's for cyclists. Maybe it was just because of shortcuts, people using shortcuts, because they did close a gate off the A3 years ago because I think people were just using the park as shortcuts going through rather than using the park as a park, using it for what it is. And it really is a beautiful park, especially if you can pick a day like this. And you saw how many cars were in the car park there. When I got back to the car probably 2 hours later, there wasn't any more cars in the car park. It was still pretty empty. So during the week, this is a Monday I did this, and Monday morning at about I don't know, about 10:30 or something like that I think it was by the time I got here, and it was lovely and empty. You can see the roads are pretty empty as well. There is a path to the right of us that goes all the way around the park as well. If you don't want to ride a bike on the road here, you can go on the path, which is quite a nice path, and it's 7 miles all the way around the park, and it's lovely. Just watch out for the wildlife though, because there are deers in here, and they got their massive antlers on, and you upset them and you'll know about it. So getting back to the bike, by the way, all the discount codes and everything else, where to get the bike, is all in the description down below. Okay, you can get up to £200 off depending on what bike you get, or £50 if you go for a cheaper version. Yeah, it's all down there below. Now the thing is, when I got this bike off of Engwe, I contacted them and asked do you want to do a deal, and they yes, we're quite interested in doing that. And all you have to do is do a review, one video, one review, and then they're happy with that. I'm doing more because it's part of what I want to do. It's part of trying to get fit, and I love this bike. Now here, years ago, you used to be able to drive down here, but now you can't. Why? As I've just said, I think it's probably because everyone was using it as a shortcut to get through from Roehampton to Kingston without going out onto the A3 and stuff like that. But yes, so as a cyclist, I can go through. So that's the first place now that I've got the benefit of being a cyclist, is there. Now years ago, this hill here is pretty steep. I learned how to ride my motorbike up here doing hill starts. My mate Dave showed me how to do hill starts on my motorbike here when I was a total novice on motorbikes. This is really steep here, and yeah, I'm actually slightly touching the brake to slow me down. And yeah, it's really steep here. It doesn't look it on camera too much, but yeah, this is where I learned how to ride my motorbike, doing hill starts, that is. Now the weird thing is, since I did my review on this bike, my emails have gone through the roof with companies wanting me to do reviews on their e-bikes. I've had so many different offers, and some are quite tempting. I am looking into it, but if I did do every single one of them, where would I put all these bikes? All my family would be getting e-bikes for Christmas. I do feel though like I'm a little bit of an imposter doing this, because riding a bike, I mean, through here, because all these cyclists that you see in front of me coming towards me and me overtaking and them overtaking me, they're all on normal bikes. I'm the only one that's on an e-bike. I did see one other e-bike in here that looked very similar to this one, but other than that, they're all normal cyclists that go around here. And you do get a few funny looks, like, you know, yeah, you need help, do you, fatty? And where's your lycra? Yeah, like, I'm gonna wear lycra. I'm gonna, Little Britain, I'm the only guy in the village. No, I don't think so. So getting back to the park, if you're new like me, or you're returning like me, I should say, to cycling, I thoroughly recommend Richmond Park. It's so easy, and you don't have to stay on the road. Like I said, there are pathways and everything that you can go. Yeah, you used to be able to get out of a gate over there to the right hand side that led out to the A3, but they've stopped that. And as you can see, there's a proper cyclist that's gone past me. I'll let him go past me. I'm not bothered. I'm pretty sure he sniggered under his breath though. You got pedal assist and I'm overtaking you at my age. Ha! Also, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody that's messaged me and sent me emails saying what I should and shouldn't do on this bike. Mainly the shoulds, as in getting mirrors and stuff like that. I did get a set of mirrors, but they were so stupid. They were so small, I've had to send them back to Amazon. I've got others that are arriving today, actually. So hopefully in the next video I do on this bike, you'll see some big old mirrors on the front, which you do need, to be honest, because I didn't see that cyclist behind me, obviously, and when he overtook me there. And obviously it's even worse with cars and stuff when you don't hear them, because a lot of them are electric nowadays. You don't hear them go past you, and sometimes it can make you jump. Nothing made me jump today. I'm just saying that could happen. So yeah, mirrors are a big thing, and I've got them arriving today. The other thing I want to ask you about advice for some of you cyclists is the brakes. The brakes, hydraulic disc brakes on this thing. I've never had them before. Never had an e-bike before. They're still quite noisy, and you'll hear it when I brake through this video. Is that still because they're not bedded in properly? Remember, what have I done, like 10 miles on this, something like that. Is it because they're not bedded in? Do I have to do anything to stop the noise? Can they be adjusted? It's not a massive noise, and the brakes work fine, but I just wondered if I can actually eliminate that noise. So if you wouldn't mind giving us some advice on that, please, that'd be quite nice. And that was the e-bike that I saw, the one that just gone past us. That's the only other e-bike I saw in the park. So now, as you can see on my display there, you can see 14 miles an hour there. Underneath that is the pedal assist. I'm trying to stay as low as possible on that and use the gears to my right hand side where my right hand is. I'm trying to stay at 2, stay at a low level rather than going all the way up to 5. So I get a bit of a workout rather than the bike doing all the work. I've still got a pedal, even though I put it up to 5, I've still got a pedal. It just helps you out more and more. And as you can see from my shadow there, that I am pedaling. I'm not freewheeling it anywhere. Not on this anyway. When I go down a steep hill later on, yeah, I do. I have a little break and let the bike do the work. And the other thing, people were asking me to get a bell. This does come with a horn, by the way. By my left hand, you'll see a throttle there by my thumb, which is disabled because I'm not allowed to have that on in this country, otherwise it becomes against the law. Underneath that is the horn. I do use it today. I never had to use it in the first one, which is why I didn't mention it, which is my bad. But it has got a horn, and I do use it today. Guess who I use it on? Another cyclist, yeah. On Hammersmith Bridge, no less. So we will be getting out at the Roehampton gate, and we will be going into Roehampton to go to our first filming location. Now, it's a TV series. It started in 1979, and where we're going to was the very first episode where it was shot. It was 1979, and I'm sure the series went on through the 80s and the 90s. I'm pretty sure it finished in the 90s. The episode was called The Gunfight at the OK Laundrette. And the thing is, the laundrette is actually still there. It's still there today in 2025, and it was there in 1979. You can still watch this program now. It's on ITV4 and it's also on YouTube. Nearly every episode is on YouTube. Now we're getting close to the Roehampton gate now, And there's a car park over to the right hand side. That one there is probably the busiest car park in here. Because it's really close to Roehampton Gate, there's a lot of cyclists that drop off their cars here and start cycling. A bit like what I've done but at the Kingston Gate, but there's also a golf course that's connected to this as well. So this one will always be a lot busier than all the others. So just bear that in mind if you're thinking about coming to Richmond Park. And I'm pretty sure that you can actually hire bikes in here. It might have been that hut that was back there on the right hand side in that car park, but I'm not 100% sure where it is, but I'm pretty sure that you can hire a bike here if you just wanted to ride around and not bring your bike. It's probably even easier than what I'm doing, but I love this bike. So we're approaching this roundabout here. Look, my arm goes out, gives a little signal. I did get a few negative comments on the last one saying that I didn't signal enough, so there you go, I signaled. So we're out of Richmond Park now, and we're heading to the next bit where a car cannot go. So I could not do this way in the car. I could get round to where we're going, but it's a longer route obviously. So I can turn right here. Obviously the arm comes out again just as well, because I don't think he was stopping. I did give him a little thank you there. He shouldn't have to, but he looked like he was going to go through, and he waited. So we're down here. Now there's barriers across this road, so that's how I can't go down here in the car to get to where we are. Now this estate over to the right hand side, it's not got a very good reputation, by the way, the Roehampton estate. Nice big council estate here, and it's pretty much where we're going to for this filming location. So here we are, having a bike, the benefits of having a bike, coming down roads like this where the cars cannot go. Cut off a big corner getting down here. The funny thing is about this bike, you know, I never thought I would enjoy riding a bike again. As you know, like I said before in a previous video, that I've not been on a bike for over 20 years, and I've really enjoyed it. Alright, we've had some really nice weather when I've done it. I'm not going to be going out there in the rain and the snow and all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't have thought so anyway, but I've really enjoyed it. I'm amazed that I've enjoyed it so much. Is that like having a midlife crisis or something? But don't that normally mean you buy a sports car or something, not an e-bike? Let us know in the comments down below, am I having a midlife crisis here or what? Now another thing on the last video I did about the bike was my hands. I'm covering my brakes all the time. I've got my hands on my brakes, and that's probably not very good for my hands. Handlebars are different now, aren't they? They've got like a palm rest that you rest your hands on. So it's actually not that bad. It's not uncomfortable holding my handlebars like that, believe it or not. Maybe it would be if they were just round handlebars, but there is an actual palm rest that you rest your hands on. So old Git alert here. How long have they been out? I've not seen them before. Never mind that. Well, I've not been on a bike for 20 years, so how long have they been out? And the other thing is gloves. A lot of people have been saying, why are you wearing gloves? It's boiling. Well, if you fall off a bike, motorbike or a cyclist, and you fall off your bike, the first thing you put out is your hands to try and protect yourself. And if you haven't got gloves on, I'll tell you what, that's like a cheese grater, these roads, rubbing your hand along a cheese grater. So if you put a little bit of protection on by having gloves on, it just stops that if you ever fall off your bike. You know, hopefully you never ever do fall off your bike, but if you do, you've got a little bit of protection on. The first thing that you're going to put out to protect yourself is obviously going to be your hands. So the first filming location of the day is just over there to the right hand side, the laundrette. I will stop and move around. It's just there to the right hand side. I will pull off the road here and give you a better view of it, and then show you a little clip from the TV series. I'm sure some of you have already got it. I'll just bump it down this little curb, get out the way of pedestrians, and I'm allowed down here. As you can see, there's bike bars there to lock up your bike, so I'm okay. So there's the laundrette. That's what it looks like today. Let's see what it looked like in 1979, shall we? So here we are, 1979. It's changed a little bit. and you'll see the star of the show in a second. There he is. Police turn up, and yeah, there was a little bit of a siege, little bit of a hostage situation for a bit, and Terry McCann saved the day. But unfortunately, he got arrested as well because he was a criminal himself. They thought he was part of it, and he had to lay down with the rest of the guys because they thought he was in on it. Now, you all know what this is by now, don't you? In case you don't, it's Minder. Yep, good old Minder. Hold on. 4-disc set. Whatever happened to VHS? What's happened to that now? So now we're back on the bike and we're head to the next one. Actually, what we're doing now, we're going to go to a bike lane because it's part of this journey that we're on. Is I want to show you both sides of cycling. The good and the bad I show you in the car. But I want to show you it from a different point of view as a cyclist, the cycle lane. Not particularly this one. And I didn't notice until I've reviewed this how wobbly I look on this bike sometimes, especially turning around a corner here. I'm not that wobbly, the camera doesn't do it justice. For all you people playing London Dashcam Bingo, I've said one. Yeah, I'm not that wobbly. It just somehow, because it's on my chest and not on the bike, it looks a bit different. Obviously I've got a camera right there in front of us, which I don't use a lot because it's only 2.7K. The one on my chest is 4K, so you're going to get better pictures from the one on there. Plus you can see the speed and you can see a little bit more from my chest rather than the one on the bike. I'll show you a little bit of the one on the bike though later on, so you can compare them. So for all you people that want to know what the cameras are, the one on my chest is an Insta360 Ace Pro, the older version, and the one up there in front is the Insta360 GO 3, again the older version. Now if I continue going straight down this road, that will take us to Hammersmith Bridge, which we are going to eventually, but I just want to show you this bike lane, and there is another point of interest down there as well that I will show you. But this bike lane has been on YouTube, and it is a very famous clip on YouTube as well, where a guy in it was either a Range Rover or a Land Rover or something like that, a 4x4, had an argument with a cyclist. The cyclist wasn't using the bike lane, and he was spitting feathers. He was going crazy at this cyclist. And as we all know, the cyclist does not have to use the bike lane. And I'm going to show you now why they don't use the bike lane. When we get onto the road with the bike lane, I'm going to show you why they don't use it. And I've always sort of like, as a car driver, why are you not in the bike lane? Why are you not in the bike lane? Now I can show you why they're not in the bike lane. Again though, there are different type of cyclists though, aren't there? There are the ones that are out there and they're looking for exercise, as in beating their personal best, going as fast as they can and all that sort of stuff. They're the ones I think are quite dangerous. You've got the other ones which are a bit like me. They're not interested too much in the speed. They just want to get to A to B as quick as possible and as safe as possible. So I will always use a bike lane when I can, and I do use it here, but I can see why people don't. I really can see why people don't. Now you can see by my speedo there, I am actually going quite fast. I'm going downhill, and it is only a 20 mile an hour speed limit. You're still allowed 10% on you. And I've got to say, when I've seen other people do these sort of videos, they put their phone up there with a GPS on, and the speedo is normally about a mile out. So I'm probably doing 20 here rather than 21 that it says. Honest, Your Honour. Now, are you ready for some clues about the film locations that we're going to? There are 2 films that were filmed in this location, starring the same actor. But that same actor only appeared once at this location in one of the films. He wasn't there for the second film. So hopefully that makes sense. There's 2 films shot in this location. They're literally a stone's throw away from each other. And one actor appeared in both films, but only in one of the films did he appear in this location. I hope you understand, because I'm getting confused myself. So we're going to be turning right down Priory Lane here as soon as the coast is clear. I'll move away. And this is the road where I think is a dodgy cycle lane. It really is, and this is why so many people don't use it. And I'll show you exactly what I think about it. Obviously there's not a cycle lane here yet, so you're in the road. You've got no choice really. Move the camera a little bit there. The cycle lane still hasn't started. You can see bikes on the other side of the road coming towards us. They haven't been in the cycle lane all the way down the road, not just here where there isn't a cycle lane. There is someone riding on the pavement there, which you shouldn't be doing because it's not a shared pathway. You should be in the road. It starts here. Okay, so I'm going to go into it here. Nice big bump there, but the suspension on this thing took it. It looked a lot worse than what it did there on the camera. There was no bump at all for me. I can assure you of that. Right, so for starters, the bike lane, it stops there and starts there. So if you're coming towards me, the bike lane ends and you're on the opposite side of the road to where you want to be. So you've got to get across the other side of the road. So what is the point of that? So you're going to be like this guy coming towards us over there, aren't you? You're not going to use it because when you get to the end of the bike lane, you've got to somehow get across it with people like me coming this way, getting in the way of each other. So again, it's a rubbish design again. Second, you've got people parking in it. It's quite rare that people park in this bit, I've got to admit. But here you've got a junction, look. So you have to slow down and make sure that no one's coming in or out. I do look over my right hand shoulder. We have got give way lines there as well. So it's down to us to actually wait for traffic going in. Is it or isn't it? Because of the new rule about junctions, do them give way lines mean anything now? As you saw, another driveway there that the gates were shut, so I didn't have to slow down too much there. We come up to more. Now this here, point of interest, is the Priory. The Priory is where all the celebrities go when they are, shall we say, in rehab. When they've had too much alcohol or too much bloody drugs and all that, they go in there. So it costs an arm and a leg apparently to go in there, but that is the Priory where they go in there for rehab, all these celebrities. Now you generally know when there is a proper celebrity in there because there's normally a gang of paparazzi around the area. Sometimes they're normally in Richmond Park because sometimes they go out, the celebrities that is, go out into Richmond Park for a bit of fresh air and away from the Priory. But then they obviously get photographed not looking their best by the paparazzi. Now I'm going to pause it here to just show you the famous clip I'm talking about on YouTube of a guy going mad. This guy here was going mad at a cyclist down this very road because he wanted the cyclist to get in the bike lane over there. Funny enough, he's just pointing to it, and he's like a right meathead that he is. Not knowing the rules or anything like that, he's in there saying, you know, use that. So it gave him the excuse to pass the cyclist like an inch away from him. A real div, to say the least. Yeah, that happened down this road here. Now, as most of you are car drivers, can you understand why they don't use these type of bike lanes? Another junction to cross where I have to stop, according to the road markings anyway, I have to stop and wait. If I was a couple of feet over in the road, I don't have to wait. I can carry on going straight without having to stop, slow down, look over my shoulder, and if there's something coming, actually wait. So if I'm in the road, I don't have to wait. I have priority then. Can you get it? Can you get why these cycle lanes are not being used by cyclists? And then when you get to the end here, there's cars in the cycle box as well. So it's a bit of a struggle for me to get off the bloody cycle lane into the road here where it just stops, and I should be able to get out here, but this red car is in the way. Yep, he's in the cycle box, so I have to go in front of him out of the cycle box because he's in it. And before anyone corrects me here, when I say wait at them junctions, that's wrong. I have to give way at them junctions according to the road markings. They haven't changed the road markings. It's still got give way lines on these junctions, so I have to give way to them. So the question is, why the hell would you use it if you have to keep stopping and starting, or slowing down and starting, slowing down and picking up the speed again? It just doesn't make any sense to actually use them, does it? Yeah, so as ever, let us know in the comments down below if I've got a valid point there. I always like to hear your opinions on this, whether I agree with them or not. I always like to see them. So, are you ready for another clue? Now, where we're going to, we're looking at 2 films and 1 TV series. Now the TV series we're looking at now, it was filmed, or this episode was filmed in 1978. It's still on ITV4 and you can still watch them all on YouTube. Obviously they're all repeats. The show has finished a long time ago now. Now this episode is called The Female Factor. Now I'm just going to speed this up here because we're just waiting at a red light, and this red light took forever. It really did. And I'm not going to say that you can see why that's why they go through red lights. No, it just took forever and it's boring just sitting here waiting for a red light to change. So, film number 1, okay? Film number 1 was made in 2021. And when I say made, that's when it came out. It came out in 2021. Film number 2 was made, or it came out, in 2018. Now when I get to film 1 location, you can actually see where film 2 location is. That's how close they are to each other. And if there was no people in the way, you could actually see where the TV series was from the first film's location. So you got 2 films and the TV series shot within probably 100 meters of each other. Now getting back to some of your advice that you gave me about this bike, one of which, well 2 of which I've got to do. One is get a rear camera, and obviously the other one we've already talked about is mirrors, because there's a couple of close passes coming up. I would have been able to see them. The thing is with the first one here coming up, look at the road ahead. There's nothing coming towards us. It's completely empty. So why do a close pass on me here? Why are you not over? Why are you not giving me close to 1.5 meters? I don't think it's that dangerous. It's not as dangerous as the second one coming up, but that there is not 1.5 meters. But look what's in front. They've got a whole road to move over to get out of my way with, but you're that close. It is odd the way people drive. I still don't think a lot of people know that rule. I really don't. I don't think the powers that be have done a really good job in putting it out there what you're supposed to do. But the next close pass is there's no real need to do a close pass, especially when there's an open road in front of you on the opposite side of the road. No need for it at all. There's no need to do it anyway, really. I mean, so I'm going to get that same car do a better job of it then. But this next one, rubbish. That there is pants. That is just dangerous and stupid. And where can you go? Look what the car in front of you is. Where can you go? And just look what's written on the side of the van. Yeah, you couldn't make it up, could you? How close was that? And now look at the guy behind me now. Look how much room he gives me. He held back, waited for a gap, and made it easy for me. Made it safe for me. I gave him a wave because I could see him looking in his mirror. I gave him a thank you wave. The guy in the middle there is a first class prat though. And people will say that I should look at my own positioning, move out a little bit more. But would he have still given me 1.5 meters to go overtake me? Nah, he wouldn't have done. I am old-fashioned though. The trouble is with cycling, since I last did it, it's all changed about prime position and moving out further into the centre of the road and all that sort of stuff. We were used to riding in the gutter in my day, or close to the gutter, you know what I mean, and let vehicles pass us, and they still didn't pass us as close as what that idiot did. But yeah, riding a bike, the rules have changed so much, and I've got to adapt to that. I've got to work on my prime position and be a bit more centre of the road in them sort of situations. But I think that it would have just led to that idiot being more frustrated and still passed me really closely and put danger to the people coming towards him as well, because he just had to be there. And look where he is. Look where he is. He's just up here, and look at the speed that I've been doing, 14-15 miles an hour, and he's still just in front of the black van here, look. So it just goes to show, if you'd have hung back and did it like the black van did, he would still be in exactly the same position as what he is now. So patience is all I've got to say, innit? Patience. Yes, but definitely having a mirror, I would have been able to see him coming, because I obviously didn't see him coming. And having a camera, I would get a better view of the person driving the van, because obviously I didn't see the person driving the van, because they were, you know, I didn't see them. You know, I obviously haven't got eyes in the back of my head. I've got horns growing out the top of my head, but not eyes in the back of my head. So mirrors are definitely a must. Now, as you can see, this road is quite empty. Why is it quite empty? because it leads on to Hammersmith Bridge. Hammersmith Bridge is closed for traffic. Only pedestrians and cyclists can go there. Now obviously you can see that I am in a bus lane. Cyclists are allowed to be in a bus lane. We might get in the way of the thousands and thousands of buses that come down here, but today there is nothing. There isn't hardly any traffic at all, never mind the thousands of buses. Now we're going to go back to the TV series now, and another clue. One of the actors actually completed the SAS selection process, and I mean the real SAS selection process, not like the crap that you see on telly where celebrities do it. He did it for real, but they wouldn't let him in the regiment because he was too famous. Yes, and he would have made, in my opinion, and he should have been the next James Bond. He should have been James Bond instead of Timothy Dalton. It was around about that sort of time when they were looking at him to be the next James Bond, and he would have made a brilliant James Bond. Now this person has since passed, he's no longer with us, but his co-star in this program is still alive, and he said the same thing as me, that he would have made a brilliant James Bond, but they considered him to be too violent to play the part. Now even though the SAS wouldn't let him in the regiment because he was too famous, he did however play an SAS captain in probably his famous film. Now getting back to this, cyclist, you will not believe what you're going to see in a minute. When we go over Hammersmith Bridge, I've heard it so many times about you guys saying how badly these cycle lanes are kept, and from what I've seen so far of being a cyclist, which is 2 journeys, I do have to agree with you most of the time. But on this occasion, no, there is not one, but there is 2 people sweeping the cycle lane on Hammersmith Bridge. 2 people! 2 people sweeping the cycle lane. Now that's Hammersmith and Fulham Council for you. No, I am being sarcastic because I'm going to show you the rest of Hammersmith and Fulham as well after Hammersmith Bridge, and they are an absolute disgrace. How they can have 2 people sweeping a bike lane up here and leave the rest of Hammersmith and Fulham looking like such a shithole is beyond me. It really is. And I'm a Hammersmith lad, born and bred Hammersmith boy, and it hurts me to see what I'm about to show you a little bit later. After the film locations here, I'll take you to another filming location and you'll see a before and after. It's an absolute disgrace. Hammersmith and Fulham Council should be ashamed of themselves. So now we're approaching Hammersmith Bridge. Obviously if you're in a car or anything like that, you cannot go over Hammersmith Bridge. So to do this would have had to go over Putney Bridge or Chiswick Bridge or something like that, any of the other bridges to get over this side of the water. But because I've got a bike, I can do this. Now Hammersmith Bridge is one of the most attractive bridges over the Thames. It really is, but it's broken. And our lovely mayor, that sorry sack of shit Sadiq Khan, has not got the money to actually make it better, to fix it. It's all about money coming in for him rather than it coming out to fix things. Hammersmith Council have obviously not got enough money to do it, and the Mayor of London will not do anything because all he knows to do is grab money, grab. So here we go. We got the first sweeper here, and you'll see me or hear me use my horn in a minute. Watch my left thumb because I've got a cyclist riding towards me on my side of the road. Watch my left thumb, it goes under the throttle there, what is disconnected, and I use the horn. So there we have it, 2 cyclists with kids on the back of their bikes away with the fairies, and there's sweeper number 2. Now over to the left hand side you'll see a block of flats, block of apartments, whatever you want to call them. Now the character in this TV series that used to live there was Ray Doyle. Obviously you must know what it is now. It's The Professionals, and his character used to live there but had moved. Now the person that was trying to find him was this woman who was in a bit of bother, to say the least, and she knocked on his door just over here to the right hand side, right where a traffic warden is in a second, and he was not there. And then the bad men come driving down this road in a very nice car, by the way, and found her down by the Thames there. Just in that building there where the traffic warden is was where Ray Doyle used to live in the TV programme. And there's the baddies, always in a nice car, very nice car. And they get out and they walk down to where we're going to be going in a second. And there she is down there. She's got a mink coat on. She looks a bit worried, doesn't she? She's every right to be worried because she ends up in the Thames and she wasn't in there for a little swimmy. And there we have Bodie and Doyle now walking with the Hammersmith Bridge behind them, and they're chatting about where they're going to find her. Who is she? And then Bodie gets up there and then he actually sees her in the drink. Doyle comes over, they have a little look, and there she is having a little bit of a sunbathe there. Yep, I would put some Factor 50 on. Oops, too late. Oh, how would you know that he's a doctor? Probably because of his white jacket and his bag and his stethoscope. You wouldn't know he was a doctor otherwise. And why the hell is her head out there? Cover her up, but leave her head dangling around. Really? And then you only cover her up once you put her in the coffin. Dear, oh dear. But the doctor, oh dear, you've got to have a white jacket on to be a doctor, you know. But then again, the doctor did save her. Look, he revived her. There she is having a cup of coffee in the coffin. Imagine having your acting job and you've got to go and lay in the Thames. How disgusting and dirty the bloody Thames is, and you've got to lay in there to get, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. No, no, no. So we're going to ride down here, and where we started the clip with Bodie and Doyle, they were obviously to the left-hand side, and they finished the clip over to the right-hand side here, just where the walls go a bit funny there. You take the wood off and walk down the plank to get into boats and stuff, just there. So we're going to ride down here nice and gingerly, because that's what you're supposed to do when there's pedestrians around. Don't go too crazy. And I'm going to ride, I keep wanting to say drive past. We're going to ride past the locations of both the films now, and we're going to come back on ourselves so you can see them from the angles that you would do in the films themselves. Now, I don't know what it is about this little stretch here. There has been so many TV series, so many films filmed down this little towpath here. I don't know what it is, why they seem to always sort of come here to be filmed. Well, I sort of like do know why they come here, because of that bridge. It looks so nice, and the only reason I'm going up here, I've gone past both the locations, by the way. They're back there, and there was a few people around there, so I wanted to go away from the people and come back and give you a better view of the bridge, how nice it looks, and hopefully by the time I get back there, the people would be gone, so we get a good picture of where the films were filmed. So there is a little method to my madness for overshooting the location. So we're just going to come here, and I'm just going to show you the view basically. Now, I'm not sure I need to give you any more clues on the two films, because I'm pretty sure most of you would have got them from the little clues that I've given you already. I will say the main character in one of the films plays the baddie in the other film. Okay, last clue, and it's an obvious one. One of the films is about a spy. The other film is about a singer. Now, as you can see, I've got a jogger coming towards me, so I'm going to move over. The walker, though, is quite happy to wait for me. We're getting to the part where it is. This is it right here. That broken bit of rendering there is there. It's still there. There it is. You don't expect Hammersmith and Fulham Council to actually render a little bit back on, do you? Yeah, that's James Bond in No Time to Die, with Hammersmith Bridge right behind them. So that was film number 1. Film number 2 is coming up in about 10 seconds. You see that pub over there? The Rutland Arms? Well, outside that pub is the next film location. Literally there. You see what I mean about so many things being filmed down here so close to each other. I'm just messing about here, trying to see if I can get a better angle on the bridge and the rendering bit. But we come down here. Yeah, the Rutland Arms here is where the second film was filmed, or a little bit of it was. Right on one of them benches there was where Bohemian Rhapsody was filmed, when they were doing the record deal. Again, here with Freddie Mercury, who obviously was the bad guy in No Time to Die. And then you'll see some clips of the bridge with them all sitting down there. And yeah, so that's another film location by Hammersmith Bridge. And as I say, I could go on forever saying how many different films, TV series and everything else was filmed down here. There's absolutely tons of them down here. So we're off to the next location now. We haven't finished yet, by the way. Thank you. Now the next location is where I used to live. I'm not joking neither. Literally where I used to live, where everything was filmed. In this next bit where I'm going to take you, I could see it all from my bedroom window. When I was a kid growing up in Hammersmith, I could actually see this place from my bedroom window. And this is the bit where I found most shocking. I really did. Having lived there for, well, I grew up there until I moved out, until I met Sarah and moved out. I grew up there, and the difference in the place, if my mum, brother and sister are watching this, keep watching it until the very end, because you will be surprised about what's happened in this area. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked, and I will show you proof from the TV series that we are going to be featuring in this one. It shows you what the place used to look like, and you'll see what it looks like now from what you're seeing here from my camera. And it's just been neglected. It's just totally been neglected. It's horrible. Have you ever gone back to a place where you used to live and it's totally different from neglect? It's always going to be someone doing something a bit modern to it or something like that, or buildings being replaced and all that sort of stuff. But to actually go back to where you used to live and see it totally just neglected. We've got two sweepers up on the bridge there for the bike lane, and further down here the grass hasn't been cut for probably about a year. It's right up waist height. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. Anyway, you'll get to see all that in a second, but let us know if you think, or if you've had that sort of situation, because I was literally shocked when I walked in. Where we're going to be honest, we're going into a cemetery, okay, where lots of things have been filmed in there. We're only going to pick two, otherwise we will be in there all day, because this is a cemetery that is always picked for doing these sort of things for some strange reason. And it was on my doorstep, literally on my doorstep, and I'll show you all of that. I won't tell you exactly where I live, but I will show you the block of flats that I used to live in. So I'll give you some clues now about the two TV series that we are looking at. The first one is a comedy, and it started in 1981 and it finished in 2003. The second one is a police drama which started in 1975 and ended in 1978. Now normally you can just drive straight through here, but I don't know what they're doing here, so I'm going to be a pedestrian, and I am actually walking. I'm in the middle of my frame here walking, believe it or not. Unusual way to walk, but that's the way I'm doing it. Rather than get off the thing, I'm actually walking in the frame of the bike. And we're going to cross at the traffic lights like a normal pedestrian, although I do ride across, to be perfectly honest here. I didn't see the point in just walking across. There were 64 episodes of the comedy. Now I'm just going to speed this up a little bit here because we're not going anywhere, and I think it might be getting a bit boring for you. I hope not, but you know, I'm just speeding it up until we're on the move again, because I do want to get over to the left hand side of that lorry. And you'll hear me talk in a minute. I'm talking about someone who's just gone through the red light with that lorry coming at him. So mental. Now, he just rode straight through it on his bike, straight through with that lorry coming out at him. Unfortunately, the camera didn't pick any of it up, neither did the other camera at the front. So, yeah, well, that's a bit of a shame that we didn't catch him, but just sailed right through as if the lights wasn't even there. Anyway, to our right hand side is Charing Cross Hospital, and we're coming up to a little mini roundabout here where the council have really screwed up the roads around here. Remember, I lived just down the road from here, literally down the road, so I know what I'm talking about here. This road here never ever used to be as congested as what it is now. They've put in these barriers where you've got to give way, come in a certain way. They got priority over us coming towards us. Now, I don't know why that van didn't wait. That van should have waited, even though the sign says that he has priority. Why not wait and let us go? I don't get it, to be honest. Yeah, so we're waiting here. None of this used to be here when I was a kid, none of it, and we never had the traffic down here than what we have now. It's the stupid barriers that they put here. It just makes traffic. It's just stupid. Yeah, and I know they're called traffic calming measures and all that bollocks, but all it does is make traffic. So we're going to be turning left down Claxton Grove, this road is. I know that because I used to live down the bottom of this road. Now, as we're really close, I'm going to give the game away with these now. In the TV series with the police, the best saying ever, we're the Sweeney son and we haven't had any dinner. Oh, it don't get any better than that, does it? And in the comedy, if I said to you, Rodney, you plonker. Yeah, you get it, right? Only Fools and Horses and the Sweeney, yeah? Now, in a little while, I'm going to shamefully do a little tour of this block of flats just to show my 88-year-old mother what this place looks like now. My dad used to park his car there. It looks like they've sold some of the parking space to the house on the corner here. Look at that fence to the left-hand side. That car park used to be a lot bigger. So they sold the car park. The council have sold half the car park. Yeah, okay. Anyway, moving on. Now, some of you people that watch properly on my channel will know I have showed you a couple of pictures of myself. Yes, I have shown you a couple of pictures of myself when I was younger, that is. And one of them was facing this wall with my motorbike years ago, right here. I'll show you the picture again with my motorbike. Now I'm on an e-bike and I was with my motorbike there with my dad and my brother and my lovely bike then. There it is there. I know we got a bit of graffiti in the back there and that, but that's pretty much where we are standing now with the wall behind us. It's graffitied by Scouse Scum. Look, Liverpool FC on it. Yeah, that's where we were. Obviously, you can see that the council have done a marvellous job on the maintenance of the grounds here. Yes, it's like they've forgot where their mower is. When you think back in the day, they never had the equipment that we've got now. When I show you the cemetery, that's where it really hits home for me. We've got all the equipment, we've got all the tools. Back in the 70s, 80s, we never had the tools what we got now. And look at the state of this. Absolute joke. Now I'm going to ride down here. I'm going to ride straight back in a little while as well because I just want to show my family what this place looks like now. It does look like a lot of these places are Airbnb. You've got the lock things on the doors and you used to be able to walk straight through there to the right. You can't now. You have to have a security code to get in there. And I can get the bike under this. I can tilt it under there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to ride straight back to where we just was, just so I can show my family what the place looks like now, because this is where I grew up. Yeah, the concrete jungle, but we loved it. Had so many friends here, a few enemies as well, mind you, but yeah, it was a nice place to grow up, even though it doesn't look very nice. It was a good place to grow up. So we're going to go now into the cemetery, which is obviously to the left hand side here. And I do get off the bike this time properly and walk it in through the door, because it is a door that you can't see around the other side of. And then as soon as I get back, when I get in there, I get back on the bike. It's only a little journey, literally a little weenie journey. So you can see me, I've just got off the bike and now I'm going to walk into Margravine Cemetery. This is okay, by the way. And There's the sign. And I'm just going to get on the bike again, just right up to this chapel on the right hand side. Got a nice guy here that really paid attention.
Sorry, I'm going away.
Oh, you're all right.
Cheers, thanks.
Now this chapel has been in so many TV series and films, and if you look over there, that is the angle we're looking at now, because this is what was in Only Fools and Horses when Grandad died. Remember Grandad died? He got buried there. And if you notice the difference in a second when I show you what it looked like then and now, it's an absolute disgrace. Now, I can't show you too much of this because of copyright, but you can see where Rodney's standing over the grave of Grandad there. Look at behind him. You can see everything. I know it's snow, but things don't grow in the snow, but come on. Look at it. It's all the grass is nice and short and everything is well kept. I'll just show you another angle now. If you look behind them, you can see buildings and stuff like that. And another angle here. Look what's behind them both there. Absolutely nothing. It's just really nice and clear. All the grass is short. Everything looks really nice and well kept. And it was. I still lived down here when that was filmed. And look at it now. I cannot believe it. As I say, we've got all the tools and everything else. We've got 2 people sweeping on Hammersmith Bridge, a broken bridge. And yet here, look at it. You can't even see the other side of the fence. You can't even see where it ends. How can they let this get into that state? This is roughly where Rodney was standing here. And look at the mess. That is just outrageous. And people always say to me, you're always moaning about the state of London. But when you've seen it from the 70s, 80s, and even possibly the 90s, and then you see it like this today, it's shocking. It's a shithole. It's an absolute shithole. And we've got so much technology and everything. You can put one of them automatic mowers down there and do it. I'll take that back. Probably get nicked around here. But back in the 70s and 80s, that would have been one man and his little mower. Nowadays, you've got all these sit-on mowers and everything else to make it easy, and it's like this. I don't get it. Now, from this view here, you can see that there's trees there. But back in the 80s, when Only Fools was filmed here, that's what it used to look like. Yeah, bit of a difference. Bit cleaner there, I think. And by the way, that was the first time we actually saw Uncle Albert in this very episode. Now we've gone back even further, back to the 70s, and look at the grass still. It looks so much better. Look at the cars. It can only be one thing. Yeah, the Sweeney. And we come round, and he's obviously going to light up a fag because that's what he always did. And there it is. There's the block of flats that I grew up in, and I was there when they filmed this as well. So a bit of a difference, a bit of a shock, bit of a bloody eye-opener as to what we've done to this cemetery, this area where I used to live. I can't tell you how much I was shocked by seeing this. I mean, you can see how much they've shortcutted it as well. Just round the chapel there, a few feet round the chapel, and then left everything else. It's just not on, is it? It's an absolute disgrace. Yeah, and it's the council's, as far as, well, not unless this is private. It never used to be, but yeah. Anyway, guys, let us know if you got to the end. Let us know what you thought about this video. And if you did make it to the end, thanks a lot for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Oh, and the next one will be back in the car.